As you may have guessed, our special guest tonight is Dana, Talking Primate. He's on Twitter as Talking Primate 1 on Twitter. He's kind of new to the Twitter scene, so give him a follow out there. And he's also on YouTube, and his YouTube channel is Talking Primate. He does a lot of funny videos. You know, the thing about his video channel is he has a lot of parody songs. And they're atheistic in nature. And I love parody songs. Parody songs are the crux of comedy. And to have parody songs in atheism, that just double win right there. Because you get the humor, you get to maybe even learn something, and you get to find out all kinds of nice stuff. It's the videos are just great. Several weeks ago, we put one of his songs on the show here. We put it on the tail end, so it was the "Thank God I'm an Atheist." I love that song. I was listening to that one. I'd play it over and over again. It would actually make the hairs on my neck stand up because I liked it that much. Seriously, I was like driving, like, oh yeah, oh, and I good music like that. If something really touches you in some way, and I don't mean in a bad way, you know, where did the band touch you? No, not like
bad
that. Touch. Bad touch. That's a bad touch. This is a good touch. Where it makes
this music will not touch you where your bathing suit covers.
Right. But it will touch you inside, and especially your funny bone. That's the best part. Without any further ado, our very special guest, Dana. Tell us a little bit about, besides what I just said. I have a question for you, Dana. Where did you come up with the name Talking Primate?
I don't know. I think I can tell you right now that one of the first videos that influenced my conversion, I suppose, a couple of years ago, when I finally admitted it that I was just lying to myself and fooling myself and trying to find something that wasn't there, was a Christopher Hitchens video where he comes up and he stands in front of a group of college students and he says, "Greetings, fellow primates," and that it just stuck. And it was kind of an homage to him at first, but then I'm like, then you start watching hundreds of thousands of hours of YouTube videos, and it was just one of those things where, you know what, I should be doing something like this.
Mm.
And so I had to come up with something. And so the first thing I was going to do was type in, I typed in Thinking Primate, but that was already taken because I was also watching videos from Seth's channel, The Thinking Atheist. So I thought, well, it'll just be The Thinking Primate. It was not available. So I typed in Talking Primate, and lo and behold, that was available.
There you go.
But apparently Talking Primate is already taken by some Twitter guy, so I have to be Talking Primate 1.
Yeah, I saw that. I thought the other one, when I saw the Talking Primate, I thought that was yours. I actually had started following it, and I thought maybe that was yours at first, but then I seen you hadn't posted in a while, and I found out that this one is yours now, the Talking Primate 1, so I unfollowed him and I followed you.
Oh. Well, I have yet to make a post on it, so keep following, and maybe one day you'll be surprised. It'll be like,
hey,
a gift.
Talking Primate said something. Wow.
He exists.
The best thing you can do is link your YouTube channel to your Twitter account, so anytime you post a video, it'll go right out to Twitter, and then all your followers will say, "Oh, Talking Primate's got a video," and boom.
Oh.
Yeah, you should tweet the links to your videos on your Twitter.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's.
Hold on a second. Hey, what'd you say, Sonny? I can't hear you over my Victrola.
Did anybody else have Todd? Did you have any, or Joe? Did you have any questions?
Yeah, I actually prepared a couple of questions. Talking Primate, I know many YouTubers, myself included, have hit the wall with getting videos pulled for using copyrighted music. Yeah. You once mentioned that with your videos, you seek out to get permission from copyright holders if you need to use the music. So I'm sure there's a lot of YouTube users out there that would love to have their creations stay up properly with used music. So how does one go about getting that permission?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Well, if you want to do it that way, I've only had to do that on one occasion, and that was you have to find the publisher. Okay, so what you do is you go on to wherever you get the music from, you should be able to do a database search. Are you familiar with a search and for like ASCAP and BMI?
I've heard of
Yeah.
ASCAP.
I know what
Okay.
BMI is.
And I've heard
So
of
what
BMI.
what you do is you go to their site and then you type it. It's usually one of those. There's another one. It's called CSAC, but like nobody uses it. It's usually ASCAP or BMI.com, and then you find out who the publisher is, and then you send them a letter. And if they say it's okay, then it's okay, and you have it in writing. If they say no, then you find something else to do. You figure out a way around it. Use a MIDI version or something like that.
Now, do they charge fees for that, or?
Like I said, I've only gotten permission from one person, and there was no fees.
Okay. And so like if YouTube came along and said,
but see, now here's the weird thing about it. Then I had permission, and then YouTube is all like, you're using copyrighted material, so we're not going to take your video down, but we're going to make it so that if you can't, like, we're going to block you from making money off of it and such like that. I just recently monetized my channel, so anybody who's listening, I apologize in advance. I'm starting to get more views and stuff like that, and I thought, well, everybody else is doing it, so why shouldn't I? So you might see like a little pop-up ad or some crap like that, but if you do, just click out of it.
Yeah, that's no worry. I got it on mine too, so
it's so normal on YouTube now, you can't not do it. So
yeah, I have it on my other account because somebody else had taken on YouTube Packard Sonic. That's not mine. So if you go to Packard Sonic on YouTube, that's not mine. Mine is the Packard Sonic actually. And I had posted a video. It wasn't making any money. There was no revenue on it. It just I just took snapshots of our first snowfall, and I added some music from iMovie and put that on there. And I got dinged for 2 copyrights on that one, and I said, "Hey, both these songs were in iMovie, and so they're supposed to be free." And just a couple days ago, one got released right away. One took a couple days, and they said, "Oh, all right, fine. They released both claims on it." So I think that sometimes that's all it takes.
Well, here's the deal. If you want to do what I do, basically what I'll do is I'll go onto like iTunes and I'll figure out which song, the version of the song. Once I have an idea and I want to see if the song is even available, you just go and you type either like karaoke style or instrumental or something like that. Now, the beauty of the whole thing is that for those karaoke versions that are out there, they're not really part of the catalog. So you can use them. They're not even, YouTube and Google don't even recognize them. Like if you were to hold up like there's that Shazam thing where you hold it up and you get to hear what it'll tell you what the song is. It never recognizes it. If that's the case, then you're probably in the clear. So what I'll do is I'll just I'll record the song with that one side of my head open so I can hear my voice as it is, and the other side so that I can hear the music. Then I'll sing the song into it, and then I'll just kind of like crappily mix them down. I mean, the production value on the songs that I make are not the greatest, but the idea is that you get the idea. And no, they're not being taken down because I don't think YouTube gets it. I don't think they understand that these are karaoke versions. They're not the original band artists.
Right.
And I don't have enough subscribers for anybody to be like, hey, you're doing something you shouldn't be doing, so
Exactly.
fuck you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would love to do a song with you sometime. We should. I think we really should do that because I love to sing. I used to do karaoke like in front of people.
Yeah.
So it's good practice for doing this show.
Yeah.
that's an interesting rule of thumb. If Shazam doesn't recognize the instrumental version, then you're probably clear.
That's very possible. That's a good place to start, I would think. I also have Todd on before we hear from where we sent his assignment. So I'm going to bring Todd in here, and he's got a few questions, I'm sure. Joe, did you have any other questions you wanted to ask, or do you?
The only other question I wanted to ask Talking Primate was, have you ever performed your Funny Atheist songs live in front of friends or anything like that?
No. That's pretty much. I don't know if that's something that I would be up for. I mean, I might be. When I first started making these things, there's a lady that follows me. Her name is Wise Apple, and she's awesome. If you don't subscribe to her on the tube, you should. It's WEISAPPLE, and she said that I should do that silly karaoke crap at the next Reason rally.
Yeah.
I would be absolutely horrified to do something like that, I think, but I would because I'm
conventions,
just,
I've thought about doing.
I like to keep it real.
I thought about doing the Thank God I'm an Atheist at a regular karaoke bar, and just. But I thought, if I did that, they'd probably they'd find stones and they would stone me.
I would mush mouth the lyrics. Those lyrics are so funny, but they're so intricate.
Yes.
So yeah, you know what? Somebody asked me a question on the version of the video that you sent me, and I would maybe I could just answer that real quick.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, this is from Practical Magic 9. She says, do you start with a song and get inspired to write the new lyrics, or do you usually start with the person, event, idea to lampoon and go from there?
Oh, that's a good question.
It actually is a good question, and I'm gonna say neither. What ends up happening is there's a song that like pops into my head. It's like it gets in my head and I can't not. I mean, just it holds there, and then the chorus comes into my head, and then we build it from there.
That's a good place to start.
Yeah, absolutely. So, it was just one day. It just, I had taken care of business in my head, and it was just like it was like that scene from Ghostbusters. It was like it just popped in there. It's like making sure they're Christian, and then then the gloves were off. Yeah.
I've come up with little things like that myself too. Every once in a while, just like I hear something. Oh, hey, that's it. Sometimes I get inspired by other music that comes close to it, but nothing like yours. Yours is just brilliant.
Oh, hey, stop.
Oh no, I never give false credit where credit's due. It's you have a real good talent there.
Yeah, this week I tried to go through his entire channel and listen to as many of the video or watch as many of the videos as I could. And the Thank God I'm an Atheist one is the one I've watched the most. It's so brilliant. It's so funny.
It is. It really is. Todd, did you have a question for Talking Primate?
Funny you should ask. I did. My first question is, growing up, did you come from a particularly religious background?
Okay, here's my religious my religious upbringing in a nutshell. I was born and raised Jehovah's Witness.
Oh,
and
wow!
Yeah, thanks. By the time, and I wasn't really a practicing one. My dad was kind of in and out of the faith, which was actually nice. And he was like the biggest hypocrite ever. And when he kind of got on his Harley Davidson when I was 19 and fucked off, everyone was like, well, if you're not around, what's the point? So everybody just kind of dumped it. And it was awesome. And then, so I went like religion free, trying to, well, actually, it's kind of like Jesus, the missing years. I went religion free until I turned about 26. I met my wife, who was a Lutheran, and then I thought, oh, well, this seems like what we should be doing. So I went and I got baptized in the church, in the Lutheran church, and made a big deal out of it. And for a while, I was like, okay, we sang in the choir, and we sat there in a church, and we listened to the stories, and it was like the same thing year after year after year. And I started to notice a pattern. It was like, the stories were pretty much exactly the same over and over and over again, year after year. I'm like, okay, now he's going to start talking about this. And then I'm like, okay, wait, this isn't new. This isn't clever. It's not funny. And the choir was having some problems, and there was some like political bullshit that was going on. And I'm like, now wait a minute. This is the house of God. We're supposed to be getting along. I don't want to hear about how this person had a baby, so you have to sing her fucking solo. You know what I mean? So. And then the choir director, and to top it all off, the pastor in my church was involved in a sexual liaison with another woman other than his wife.
Oh my God!
And then my wife and I were like,
if I may
fuck
just
this.
interject
We're
for
done
just a second,
with this.
as far as the sexual...
hang on a second. Go ahead, Todd. Todd had something else you want to interject. Something. Go ahead, Todd.
Yes, as far as the your pastor having an affair, just consider yourself lucky. I was dodging pedophile priests growing up. I'm just saying.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's rough.
that is rough. Yeah.
Owie, owie, owie.
Yeah, big butt hurt there. Ooh.
So then that takes us about up to like the year 2000, and then again it was kind of like, well, should we go to church? Should we not? Then we moved, and my wife said, well, there's a church that I really like to start going to, so she started going. I never stepped foot in it. I just kind of like assumed that, if I found the right thing. And then all of a sudden I heard about this mega church, and I'm like, maybe this is it. So they got me involved in like going to like sorting through stuff for their thrift store, and I started to get involved with this community, and I'm like, this has got to be it, because I just feel so good about giving and this and sitting there and listening to the music and putting my hands up. And then I'm like, wait a minute. Nope. Oh, it sealed the deal for that on me. It was, I applied for a job there, and I was perfect for the job. It was like actually editing video and stuff, and I was going to be really committed to what was going on, and they never called me back. So I said, well, fuck you. Wasn't meant to be. And then, so I quit my job at the thrift store. I stopped volunteering, and then I don't remember exactly what happened, but I remember clicking on a video. I was looking for something that was like Christ related, and I think I came across like that Lee Strobel jagoff that like was doing this Case for Christ thing, and I'm like, oh well, he sounds like he has a pretty good. And then right next to it was like the Zeitgeist, and then it was like, what the hell is this? And then it was like the greatest story ever sold, and I watched that, and I went, okay, well, I'm not entirely sure if this is 100% accurate, but man, fuck me, does he make some great points.
I've seen the Zeitgeist movie too.
Yeah. So I was like, and then the next one was a Hitchens vid, and I was like, so I started with the best. It was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I believed this crap for so long. And then I started to do things like resent my parents and stuff like that. And basically, I'll tell you really quickly how the YouTube channel came about.
Okay.
I'm on Facebook, right? And I start getting these messages from this girl I knew from high school, and they were from what they would say on it. They would say, on this day, God wants you to know that, and then they would have some parable. It would be like that because Psalms 134:12 says that you should be good to your neighbor, yada yada yada, and it's actually a Facebook app. And this thing would start popping up on my fucking YouTube channel, and I'm going, or my Facebook profile, and I'm like, what the fuck is this thing? I'm like thinking it's like spam or something like that. And so that's it. So what I would do is I would turn around on her channel. I would write, on this day, God wants you to know. And then I would put like, nothing. It's better that way. And then she was just so offended every time I would do that. And she would be like, this is something that's really important to me, really serious to me. And I said, that's funny because I find it completely and totally, utterly ridiculous. Can we still be friends? And she goes, yeah, I guess so. Just don't talk about Jesus. And I'm like,
I see.
Well,
I see.
I
Keep
will
your
try
damn
not to
atheism
talk
to
about
yourself.
Jesus to you, but anytime you post something that's completely ridiculous, I'm just going to have to call you out on your crap.
Right.
And she's actually where I was like 3 years ago, where there's got to be something better. And I feel so good when I go to church because it's dark and it's warm and endearing and all this other stuff. And she believes it like, I don't understand. At this point in my life, I can't understand how anybody would believe it. But that's basically how the channel got started. So if you scroll back to the early days, which is for me is what, like 18 months ago, then you're gonna find like the first 15 videos are all titled pretty much the same thing, and they have like they have the exact same music, the exact, and I thought it would be fun to do like the first two in a British accent, and I was like, fuck this, I can't sustain this. So I just tried like use my regular voice, and those things just come to me because I'll hear something like really some story that just infuriates me about how like, the American Family Association is violating the rights of people, or 1 Million Moms will ban something. I'm still getting to that one. And then, or like when Texas had that big prayer rally or whatever, and it just infuriates me to the point where something has to be said about it. So I have 26 seconds to do it.
No.
So it's basically the primate comes up and it says, on this day God wants you to do, and then the monkey has a caption over there, and it's usually something that only an atheist would get.
Mm-hmm.
So like what was the last one I did? It said hey Lucy, I'm homo. So exactly.
I saw that
all the
one.
atheists in the room. So that's what inspired the channel.
Mm-hmm.
The karaoke thing that just came about by accident. The first one I ever did was a song called it was the Creation song to the tune of Green Acres.
Oh, I haven't seen that one
Primates
yet.
are singing back and forth.
I haven't
And
seen
then
that
I
one yet.
thought,
either.
well, enough people like that. Maybe I should just go this route. And that's some of the things that are so that they're most fun for me are to actually write the songs.
Mm-hmm.
And the most cathartic one I think is our friend Sparlakavarian, Ms. Damera would tell you that the campaign for Jehovah to the Champagne Supernova by Oasis is probably the one that I spent the most time on and I had to get it out because the Jehovah's Witnesses, they just fucked my head so awfully. So
Yeah, religion will
that's
do that.
what and that's basically the whole kit and caboodle. That's all, and that's me, man. That's pretty much pretty much me. And I'm working on another one now. I'm actually working on our song Packard. So I don't want to let any cat out of the bag.
Yeah,
but-
I'm going to be singing on that one. He's going to let me sing on this one. He's going to write the lyrics,
Oh,
and I'm going
boy.
to sing it. So,
Yeah.
it's going to be good.
but like I thought of a couple other ones that I thought would be kind of fun to do, but they just seem so hard to sing or to organize. One of the songs, do you guys know It's a Beautiful Morning? I just gave it away. It's a Beautiful Morning by the Young Rascals.
No, not top
You want me
of
to
my
sing it for
head.
you? Here, you know the song. It's a beautiful morning.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That one. I think I'll go for a walk outside. It's a Beautiful Morning well, anyway, there's a song called It's a Beautiful Morning, and I'm writing the song. I'm a dutiful Mormon.
Oh, dutiful Mormon. I'm a dutiful Mormon.
A dutiful Mormon. Yeah. So yes, God is watching us pee every day.
Yes. Pervert.
And fuck and fart and spit and scratch and
God is a fucking pervert. I had one other question. My producer actually had a question for you. She would like to ask you a quick question. Go ahead.
Okay, so my question is, you do all your singing, right? Just to get this straight.
Yes, I'm sorry about that.
You do a good job with it, man.
Yes, you do.
Well, for what it is, I mean, there's no auto tune.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you get your voice right? Like, do you do any special treatments for your voice? Like, drink tea with honey to make your voice all nice and pretty, like what my choir teacher told us we should do, but that's a bunch of crap.
Well, do I do anything to get my voice right? No, in fact, right before I recorded Thank God I'm an Atheist, I think I was eating cashews.
Yeah, they'll never know what this was. Crunch, crunch, crunch.
In fact, I think I can actually verify that fact that I was eating cashews like literally between takes. And I think I did that song in like 2 takes.
Crap.
Picking the nuts out of the back of my teeth
I
to my
could-
molars.
Oh, I could just see this as like you start singing a lyric. Well, that's not a take.
Yeah. Who is that, by the way? I recognize that voice.
That's
His
my
voice?
daughter. That's my producer. That's my daughter. She picks out the stories for the show. I pick out a whole bunch of stories and then she whittles them down because otherwise I would just do all of them.
You know what? She sounds a lot like Practical Magic. That's why I'm asking. I mean,
Oh.
you sound just like her.
Okay.
And there's no way that woman could be your daughter.
No,
So,
no, guaranteed not.
No.
but no, I don't really do anything special for my voice. Just try to sing so it's not so offensive.
Oh, hey, you're doing a damn good job. You're doing a damn good job. All right, well, thank you, Talking Primate. There's so much good stuff there. Did anybody in the chat room have a question that they wanted to ask him? Unless I missed it, because I'm kind of like not watching the chat room as closely as I should. Any questions from the chat room?
I'm looking. I'm waiting patiently.
I have a question. So let me get this straight. You're angry at God because of a thrift store? That's no reason to be angry at God, man. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah, God didn't have the record I was looking for.
Yeah.